Alright, welcome back everybody to episode 15 of my Draconian Necromancer strategy series, where I face off against 5 allied AI Emperor level opponents, and I give them a 20 turn head start. We are in turn 66, and I've got two interesting battles to show you, and one of them ended up resulting in the defeat of the Tigran Rogue, which I'm very happy to have dead because those Shadow Stalkers are hella annoying for me to deal with. So very glad that they are dead, and that battle will be one of the ones I show. First, let's look at this one, which featured plenty of Eldritch Horrors, which I find very annoying to deal with given the shock breath attack that they have. But it was pretty interesting, and I came out with 0 losses, which was pretty awesome. So let's go take a look. It was a very complex battle. One of my most hated spells to deal with, the static shock, is extremely dangerous, and all of these units have it. And so it's smart of me if I can use units that, and with this it gives the shock weakness too, further making it problematic, but it's things like the Banshees, of which I have 2, and the Dread Reapers, of which I have 2. Those 4 units are super important because as incorporeal units, they're immune to being stunned. Whereas I think the rest of my units are susceptible to being stunned. So we'll see how I handle this. And you can, of course, try and disjunct this. But let's see, do they have their leader in here? I can't recall. I don't know. I don't know if they had. I don't think they had their leader in here, and so I wasn't sure how many points they would have for recasting it if I disjuncted it, so I was very hesitant to disjunct. So, shock breath is painful, especially on the flyers. Very annoying to have to deal with. Alright, let's slow this down. So getting up in their faces, which I was really uncertain about how to handle things over here, but it did work out. See, he's stunned already. I stole the stun off of him just so that he wouldn't die as quickly, and get this incorporeal in the mix as soon as possible. Trying to get these guys up here. And just pulling these guys back a little bit so that they're coming in for these units rather than these units. Invoke Death to reduce hit points on them. Getting this guy up here with because the Shock Serpent I think has 100%, 80% shock protection. So more shock breath. Really annoying. He's got lots of health, so he can stand up to a fair amount of attacks, thankfully. So I'm going to count on him to suck up a fair amount of damage. These guys, thankfully, are pretty slow. Summon Slayer. This phase getting them into the battle quicker than I would have anticipated. Had some regrowth on some of those. Unfortunately stunned after the second attack, but still has lots of hit points. getting him up in the fray because he cannot get stunned. Stunned right away. Doing some flank. So he's getting close to being low, but at least his movement points are out. He did have poison spit. He's going to get stunned, no doubt. Oh yeah, this was the point at which I cast Undying Army so that hopefully my units that died would be resuscitated in 2 turns, but I was worried about this getting disjuncted, given that going up against Sorcerer, they tend to have lots of casting points. So, bringing these heavy hitters in. I panicked him, which is excellent. One of the things I like about the Dread Reapers. So he's down. He was frozen, I forget from what, but that is quite convenient. Wow, so much damage. Usually Reapers are pretty immune to stuff, but crit fire damage is not going to be a good time. He's soaking up lots of hits, doing a good job. Keeping the damage off of everybody else, but we'll need to save his butt soon. So much porting. Annoying stun off on them. Some decent damage there. Have him up here in the fray. Is he stunned? I think he is. Yes. But he has lots of hit points and they have regrowth on them, making me a little bit more comfortable. Thankfully. Yeah. Takes him out. This is part of the reason why Banshees are so useful, because they're so great when you're going against other undead units. Really great to have in your stack. Killing them. Sucking up movement points with cadavers that resurge. There we go. Nice level on him as well. Panicked and also getting some lifesteal back. Getting up in his face. Ooh. This dude's still, he's so fond of getting stunned with that 11 resistance, but at least I did put in some decent damage. I think I'm able to take him out to keep that guy alive. So do a little damage here. Boom, explosive death. A little worried about that. No problem. Yep, so he came back thanks to the Undying Army, but he did drop. So I think I Greater Reanimate Undead him. I can't remember. I think so. Or no, it's the Undying Army will take care of him. Yeah. So healing up. Wow, 80%. And still got stunned, despite 80% protection, but that's because of this. So things are stabilizing a little bit. There's that cadaver. That too, because they had a few pretty well developed units, and so raising them as cadavers means that I could get some pretty good units. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. Only 2 units fell, but my Undying Army brought them back. So that was pretty fun battle. Some sloppy play, especially in the southeast corner of the map there for me, but it worked out. So this was the thing where I took their capital and defeated their leader, which had me defeat them. And it was good because they had 100 casting points. So I was really glad to take them out. So a lot of fire, plenty of fire damage. So we'll watch this. Because I didn't have a good hero. I just had this hero I'm trying to build up and some pretty excellent units here. So we'll watch how I did it. And they're also behind walls, so I was trying to think about how did I want to handle this. So I decided to concentrate my troops here, but to leave someone out here to draw some of the fire. So I'm going to try and fly and perch up here. And I like to occupy these little corner spaces here with my Dread Reapers because they can only be attacked by one opponent, and you can lifesteal everything back. So we'll get to see that in action here a little bit. See, so completely healed up, and only one melee person at a time can attack. I have to worry a little bit about ranged, but not too much. Some level ups. And just trying to make sure he can stay on defense to reduce damage. See, it's just they all come through and grind themselves up against this Dread Reaper. Shock Serpents awakened. Got ensnared. That's unfortunate, but and this the incorporeal. This doesn't work so well. And what is the so it's what is the okay? It's not showing up here, but you know, because they do blight and frost damage, the only damage that this guy is able to do is the 9 spirit damage versus him. So that's going to be a slow. So this is the perfect counter that they toss up. So I'm trying to think about what I can do to deal with that. And it's which some of the ranged units ideally, though most of them do spirit damage. Trying to sucker units back here. I used him to cast Invoke Death because I knew I wouldn't be doing much damage here. Let's see this. It's an interesting isometric view. Got another annoying Shadow Stalker to deal with. Came in and flanked, but it's the cadaver, so it's fine that they're targeting him in that way. This guy's going to decimate this guy soon, no doubt. And then they decide to send some guys out of the walls, which is fine. Kill those guys in the back. Doing a little flanking up here, Spirit Ray. And tempting them to attacking the cadaver. So close. Finally killed him so that ideally my Dread Reapers can be doing something more effective. So that Succubus is taking up a lot of hits. Doing a good job of tanking those flank hits. Some action in the background. The Panther jumped down here, so he's screwed. So, life draining his stuff back. Easy peasy. Came off the wall. Let's come back here. Shock Serpent's ready to do some work. So, It's a reasonable counter, though. Pretty low health. So finally comfortable with getting my hero up here. His movement points have been drained. So battle is now winding down at this point. So gotta take this guy out. Getting some experience on him, and taking away his movement. Respectable damage versus the Shadow Stalker. And just took a little bit more off of him. So keeping my low health units back there for safekeeping, and I'm gonna come in the front door here. And then Panther's coming back this way after killing my unit. So I'm about ready to jump on this hero. So yeah, it was kind of an interesting battle. And that's I think all we need to see of that. So that went pretty well. Went pretty well. Love the Dread Reapers. What else? There was one other battle, and it was... Oh, no. This was the second final battle. Yeah, so those are the two battles that we wanted to review for turn 66. So hope you thought that was interesting, and I will see you in episode 16.